Our guest today left the sales grind to call his own shots. It's Event About It with Adam Saad. Hey everybody, welcome back to Event About It. I'm your host, Megan Martin, and our guest this week ditched the sales floor to help businesses hang up on terrible tech. He's the contact center therapist rebooting ROI without the BS buffering. Welcome to the studio, Adam.
Thanks, Megan. Great to be here.
I'm so glad to have you on Event About It. You're a first of its kind guest for us where you're not coming from the event world, which I'm actually really excited to talk about. And for those that maybe don't know Adam, he used to be a top sales executive at Salesforce, started getting burnt out and decided to go out on his own, founding Tech Stack Advising, where he and his team help businesses maximize their investment in contact center technology. So we're going to get into the burnout stuff a little bit in the after show, but I kind of been wanting to ask forever. Your wife is a very experienced event marketer. So do you leverage your in-house expertise?
I don't think I have a choice. It would be silly for me not to consult the actual expert in all things events and strategies and ways to maximize my investment. And it is a big investment doing these events and trade shows. No matter what they look like, it's always an investment, whether it's time, money, humans, or both, or all the above. So yeah, I definitely ask her all the time for advice, and I listen to her advice because she is the expert.
I love to hear it. And yes, she is the expert. So those that don't know Megan Saad, she's a household name in the events industry, I think. So I love to hear that you're leveraging her expertise. Okay, so I want to get into a fun game. We're going to throw out some ridiculous, sometimes real, some semi-real, would you rather questions related to sponsoring and exhibiting or just surviving a tech event. So you have to choose which one and then explain really quickly in one sentence why you chose that. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. So would you rather spend $25,000 on a booth at the biggest event of the year next to your competitor or speak on a main stage panel right after the keynote that steals all the thunder?
The latter by a million miles.
Speak on a main stage.
Yeah, done. Easy. Yeah, it's credibility. It's the opportunity to show who we are, show what we're about. I would spend 25 million or 25,000 to be next to my competitor, but just not at a big show. The big show is what just killed that for me.
Got it. Would you rather have a packed booth, but your product demo crashes every 5 minutes, or a totally smooth demo, but nobody shows up?
The former. Yeah. Yeah. What is it? Any press or bad press is better than no press or whatever it is.
Sure.
Yeah. Done.
All right. Packed booth, but demo crashes every 5 minutes. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of ways to recover from a crash demo. I mean, God bless the convention centers, but their Wi-Fi always sucks.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi. It's easily the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, always the Wi-Fi. All right. Would you rather exhibit at a massive trade show in Vegas with high cost and risk, or own a room at a niche summit with 100 attendees?
Own a room niche easily by a million miles.
Why the niche?
Quality of prospects over quantity.
I agree with that. So this kind of leads into the next one. I think I know your answer here. Would you rather land 2 perfect fit enterprise leads or meet 10 industry influencers who might post about you?
The former. Yeah. Qualified leads.
All day. Yeah, agreed. All right. Would you rather have the after party DJ shout out your company but mispronounce it horribly wrong, or go viral on TikTok for tripping over your own booth banner?
Viral TikTok booth banner. I'll even make it 10 times more embarrassing.
I would agree. I think that's far more relatable. And in this world of authenticity, I think people appreciate tripping over a booth banner.
Absolutely.
Those things are tricky to put up anyway. Everyone falls over it at some point or another. All right. Would you rather find out your booth neighbor brought a puppy and everyone's there to see it, or hire a celebrity spokesperson, but they can't remember your company's name?
Puppy, because then I get to play with the puppy too.
Oh, good answer. I like that one. All right, couple more. Would you rather your booth video autoplay with your old sales training video, or be introduced on stage as the CEO of a rival company?
Old training videos because they're still good.
They are still good. Yeah, you don't want to be misconstrued as the CEO of your rival company under any circumstance. Okay, would you rather sponsor a panel full of execs who don't mention your company one time, or host a fireside chat that turns into an unplanned Q&A roast of your company?
Bring on the roast. I'm not afraid.
I love it. Why aren't you afraid of a roast? Is that the all press is good press analogy?
I mean, roast me. Like, tell the truth. Like, I think the truth is the most important thing that we have here in society. And if you want to tell me the truth, that's a great opportunity for me to address any roasting, and also what a great learning experience for what the industry or what people might think about us that we can go improve.
Oh, I love it. All learning opportunities. I agree. All right, last one. Would you rather have your logo on the event's giant LED screen, but you're right under your competitor, or be the only sponsor of a niche session on a topic nobody shows up for?
The former, yeah. Branding all day, even if it's next to our competitors, especially if it's a good competitor. We call our competitors frenemies. If they're good, then it brings us all up together. But if they're bad competitors, then I don't want them bringing us down. But if it's a good competitor, yeah, put us next to each other.
I know competition isn't bad. I think it pushes all of us to be better. So I don't know why people get so hung up on competition sometimes. It's all good things. We all work better when we're learning, and there's always things to learn, even from your competition.
Yeah. For us, the TAM is so big. There's enough for all of us and our competitors.
Oh, I love that. I love that. This is one of my favorite segments that we do on every show. So my favorite part, your favorite therapy session, the vent of the week. This is where we let it all out, the event fails, the unexpected chaos, and the are you kidding me moments. So, Adam, what frustrates you the most about events? It could be attending, sponsoring, exhibiting. What irks you?
Getting emailed incessantly for the rest of my life by people trying to sell me something from when I exhibit at an event. I still, to this day, get emails from a very large healthcare trade show event that I'm never going to go to again. And I just get emails every week from all kinds of vendors that clearly they purchased my information or somehow got my information from that trade show. So it's a nightmare. And I get calls.
Oh my gosh, and the calls. So this is actually funny. I was in one of the event communities I'm a part of. Someone actually just posted in there's event category, and they posted that they were getting 6 emails and 2 phone calls a week from the account director. Now, granted, it's the end of the quarter, so like I'm not totally surprised. But as a former salesperson, like how do you combat that? Like how do you tell them, like, take me off your list, like stop calling me, I'm not your market?
If you're a good salesperson, you want somebody to tell them I'm not your target market and take me off the list, because it's just time wasted. That's just a bad salesperson, which there are many bad salespeople.
There are many bad salespeople. It's the love hate of like, can I scan your badge? Because I know as soon as I get scanned, like I'm getting the follow up email, regardless of if I'm going to buy their product or not.
I just say no, you can't.
Oh, I like that even better.
Why
So
no?
then, putting a sales hat on, like then so many. This is probably bad salespeople, but they want the number of leads. Would you just rather tell your boss like, "Oh, I have 10 really qualified leads," even though your colleague is coming in like, "I have 100 leads from the show," and you're like, "I have 10."
An organization that's measuring the quality or the quantity of leads as their success metric should probably reevaluate their success metrics.
Oh, best advice I've heard all day. I love it. All right, last up. It's time to event about it. It's the part of the show where you get to spill the tea on memorable event moments. A huge success, total disaster, or pure chaos. We want to hear it. So what's your event about it story?
This is the crazy one.
Yeah, crazy. Like the craziest thing you've seen or done at a show.
Well, there's a lot of crazy things I've seen and not participated in that I cannot share. But I would say that what was it? The last event we did last September. It was in Arizona, and it was a week after here in St. Petersburg, Florida. We experienced Hurricane Helene, where our house flooded, all our neighbors' houses flooded, the whole town flooded. It was like Katrina-esque, and I had to go to a trade show a week after. And just like have a straight face. And by the way, we were 5 days away from another life, first in a lifetime hurricanes coming in, and the news was telling us that there was going to be 10 feet of water in our houses. And I just had to do the trade show because I had just spent 25 grand to go. And I just had to do the trade show and just like act like nothing was wrong. And it was just funny because people would come up to the booth and be like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, St. Pete, Florida." And they just go, "Oh." They're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, but I am, I'm trying to make it worth it." It was, and so like, it's funny. I still have like some of the leads on my desk, like business cards. And I have a lot of notes because, like, one of the things I always say to people is like, "Hey, you're going to get a million emails and phone calls after the show of people saying we talked. How do I stand out?" They're just like, "Well, tell me just remind me that your house flooded."
I
and,
mean,
it
there's
worked.
some upside to it, I guess. There's the silver lining.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get.
Following up 3 weeks later, "Hey, sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you. Remember my house flooded and my whole house Noah's Arked into the Tampa Bay?"
Exactly. I have pictures of me like during that time in the middle of my home. The floors are ripped up, all the drywall is taken out, and I'm with my laptop on my lap, like just working. It was
I
ridiculous.
mean, we love to hate it. I mean, appreciate the commitment to it. And if I remember correctly, you have a beloved sauna in your backyard. And if I understand, that was one of the only things to survive when your house got hit by the hurricane.
Well, to be fair, it did tip over and the glass shattered. So I spent like hours shop vacuuming the shattered
Oh,
glass off the lawn.
the worst.
Good news, yeah, the sauna did survive. Me and a buddy picked it up, put it back. I got a new door. It's still working. I used it yesterday.
That's amazing. So, with the follow up from the show, how was it? You spent 25 grand to be at the show. Was it still worth it going even though your house was getting hit by a hurricane?
Yeah, this show is a really good one. I think we did 17. We got a 17x return on it.
Nice.
And like still, evidenced by the fact that I still have the business cards from that show on my desk. The sales cycles and the follow up, like it doesn't really stop for us. These are longer sales cycles, enterprise grade.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean 17x so far, and we'll get more. I mean, I just emailed somebody this morning because this note says project starts in April. So here we go.
I mean, I appreciate some of the old schoolness of the business cards and writing on the back of it. Do you use a CRM to track attribution to say like how you know you had 17x from the show?
Yes, so we use Salesforce. I'm a former Salesforce guy, so yeah, we use Salesforce. We upload them all. I'm still old school. Yeah, I still use the cards, but yes, we do attribution. Lead source is trade show, and then the sub lead source is which exact trade show. So we're able to measure all the attribution again. But for me, it's not the quantity; it's what closed.
What's your metric on just only what closed? And do you also count, some of the close lost as opportunity to understand maybe why close lost?
No, I should. I could.
You could.
If we were more sophisticated, yes. But right now, it's just what closed.
Nice. Well, we're going to get into some of that attribution in the after show, but thanks for coming on Event About It. And where can people find you if they're curious about contact center? I think there's a lot of use cases for contact center and events, but where can people find you to learn more?
Yeah, so on LinkedIn is the easiest. Just Adam Saad. I post just about every single day on LinkedIn about contact center and getting higher ROI from contact center. So there's that, and then the other one is if you're less interested about contact center but more interested about business, I have a podcast called Scaling Out Loud where I talk about how we're scaling tech stack to 100 million. So, advice from Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs is probably irrelevant to most people. Yeah. But what may be more relevant is how to take a company from 7 figures to 8 and 9 figures.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. We'll be sure to link out to that podcast. I think there's a lot of learnings there for a lot of our listeners. Yeah. And that's all, folks. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Event About It, where we turn event mishaps into marketing gold. If you enjoyed the chaos, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with somebody who needs a laugh. And don't forget to head over to eventaboutitpodcast.com. Send us your events and your stories to be featured on a future episode. While you're there, join the Squared Squad where you can access bonus content, engage with episode guests, and catch the Event About It after show, where we dive into a dynamic dialogue with Adam about event attributions, work burnout, and how he knew when it was time to start his own company, leveraging events to grow that business. Until then, keep growing, keep laughing, and definitely keep eventing about it.